Hi, you guys, and welcome to the Insecure Cure, the place where we learn how to stop doubting and start truly believing in yourself. On today's episode of the Insecure Cure, I'm featuring my sister, Cedra Stokes, and we're going to talk about the natural hair journey. So many of us on this natural hair journey have really had a hard time dealing with, should I really wear my natural hair at work? Should I really wear my natural hair in front of my guy? All these different questions come up about natural hair. So we're just gonna take the lid off and talk about what that journey really means, not only to us as women, but to us as a culture and who we are overall and how we see ourselves in the world. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my sister, Cedra Stokes. Yes! Okay, so we are here and we're doing this episode because she just recently took her braids out. So I'm going to let her go ahead and tell her the story because she was telling me the story. And I'm like, you know what? We should talk about this. This is something that we really want to talk about. So go ahead. She was wearing braids for many years. Actually, I used to wear braids too because it was easier with the working out. They didn't have as good of products as they do today. And I just wore braids because I didn't want to deal with my hair. And actually, it wasn't even really acceptable when I was growing up to wear your hair unless it was straight and bouncy and long and all of that. So Steve's going to tell us about the conversation that we had that actually led us in this whole discussion about natural hair.
Oh, yes, I will. But first, I get to say that it gets to be said that it's so true what you said about not being able to feel comfortable with wearing our hair naturally, occupationally. And I remember that's exactly why I chose braids, because occupationally, it would give me length to do a bun or a chignon or ponytails or whatever that was more in line with what was acceptable as far as one's hair was concerned. Yeah. So what happened with me, so 20-something years later, when I finally had courage to wear my natural hair, there was a long process, which is a whole nother show in itself. Yeah. So I got here. Now I'm wearing my hair naturally, and then what happened was during the pandemic, I put my hair back in braids because I wasn't able to go get my hair done every week. Okay. When I put it back in braids, so because that's like a 4-week or 5-week or 6 weeks that my hair stays braided, I did that for two cycles. Then it came time to do it for the 3rd cycle, and I realized my hair was kind of damaged. It wasn't as healthy, it wasn't as moist, and it wasn't as vibrant. And I'm thinking, I better not do this again. I'm not gonna braid my hair again. But then I had the psychological dealing.
So like, if you guys have ever had braids before, like when you have braids, it's one of the protective styles in the way it protects your hair from not putting heat on it and stuff. But also, like, you guys got to be careful, especially with all these big braids and you put them around the edge of your hair. It pulls the edges out of your hair and it actually damages your hair follicles. Like when I was wearing my hair braided, I braided my own hair and I would put very little hair around the edges because I wanted to have edges. Okay, so like a lot of people lost their edges by putting a lot of heavy hair around the edges. It's very sensitive. Those follicles are very sensitive. But what happens is when you take your braids out, you take your braids out, you feel extra bald. You feel extra bald. But you're also not getting the chance while your hair is in braids to moisturize it and condition it like you would normally do, right?
So this is how the conversation came to be. This is why we're here. I'm going to let you guys know. I called my sister. I'm like, listen, girl. I could braid my hair one more time for what we were up to in the summer, or I could just go for this double strand twist, what I'd never done before, because my hair was getting damaged. It was getting damaged in those areas she just spoke of, and it's not damaged. My hair is fine. My hair is beautiful and it's healthy, and it's going to repair itself from those 3 months in braids. However, I was dealing with not having hair. I mean, I was dealing with like, I had blonde braids. They were like, they had blonde highlight.
It was highlight. It was
as blonde as I've ever been. I've never been more blonde and felt more blonde in my life.
Oh, goodness.
And the highlights, they were red or whatever. And you don't understand how I started feeling some way about myself. I started feeling like I woke up that way, like it was coming out of my scalp.
Right.
That's what happens.
So whenever you take out braids, or if you take out a weave, or you take out anything, all of a sudden you start to have feelings of inadequacy. Okay, you start to having feelings of inadequacy. And even with my daughter India,
everyone does not have feelings of inadequacy.
Not everyone, okay? everyone. We're just talking about, hey, this happened.
It can happen. It's possible.
So today we brought up the conversation because she said, India was coming. She's like, well, I don't know how India loves long hair. And then, so the question is, like, why do we all love long hair? So she was telling me that she was going to this hairdresser, Cedra was saying, that charges her $500 to wash and condition her and twist her hair. I said, you know what?
It didn't cost $500. It cost $414.
Okay, I said I can wash and twist your hair, and I charge $700. How about that? Like, I mean, it's crazy what we pay for our hair.
I paid $414 to get my hair done like this, you guys.
Yes, to get it washed and twist and massage and everything. And they do that because we don't really have a way. Exactly, Claudine said. Say what? So we don't have a way to really care for our hair, and we feel like we're in good hands.
Okay, that's a story. Okay, this is what happened. Mm-hmm. This is what happened. I was not responsible for my hair. I was not being responsible for my hair. All right, my sister. We had a fight this morning. My earring I just lost. We had a fight this morning because I was not being responsible for my hair, and I blamed her for not teaching me how to do my hair. Because look at her hair. Look at her hair. Her hair is all nice and beautiful, and my hair is not like that.
No, because I actually do my hair. I condition it. I put all my stuff in it. I put all the products in it. She expects for, like, I don't know, she just wakes up and just goes. So you do have to care for your hair. But back to the subject, okay? So she went to the place where she paid all this money. Well, I'm like, I can do that for double.
If you want to just give money away.
If you want to just give money away, Jesus, that's ridiculous. But she went to the place, and then she said, this lady told me that my hair is going to be long down my back, like in a year. And I said to her,
okay, she's talking two separate stories. The person who did my hair is a natural hair person. It's a natural hair person. The person that she's now referring to was before, years ago, when I just took my braids out 2 years ago in 2016. She's the one, I was going to her to get my hair pressed. She was the one that told me that by pressing my hair every week, if I came to her every week and put her potions and lotions and toxins on my head, that my hair would be down.
Your hair.
No.
She did. You had all those braids.
No. This woman told me, she sold me on the idea that if she cared for my hair and her infrastructure, over the course of the next 12 months, my hair would miraculously grow to somewhere around below my bra string. And the beginning stages was whatever she told me to do. And that started with braiding it and then putting all those bananas and mangoes and fishes and whatever. She's putting potato chips and blended potato chips. I don't know what she's putting in my hair.
But listen, you guys, listen. This is what came to my attention when she was saying that. It was like, let me just keep it real. As Black women, we have an association. It's not even Black women. I think it's all women. That beauty is associated with long hair. Okay? Beauty is associated with long hair. And so she said, it's going to grow my hair long. And that means, like, until your hair grows long, it hasn't reached the pinnacle of its health, of its beauty, of its glory. Right? That's what it's insinuating.
But you're not insinuating that long hair is prettier than short hair, and you're also not insinuating that women with long hair are prettier than women with short hair.
No, I'm not insinuating that.
Because we're not talking about.
I'm talking about what she said.
Societally speaking.
No, but even in our psyche, because she said, the lady said, and her eyes lit up, that my hair is going to grow all the way down to here. Okay.
But that's not why. Okay, so this is why. My hair, in my life, my hair, I've never worn my hair. This is the first time. I don't know what my hair is capable of. I have no idea. We're going to find out now. I've never worn my hair ever. Never, ever, ever. Did I say ever?
Well, ever since you were little.
Ever since I was a child. I've never worn my hair out.
After about 15, you started wearing
braids.
Yeah.
From the moment I could wear my hair braided, when I figured out when I could control what my hair looked like, I did it because my mom's aesthetic was not my aesthetic. Okay, so there we go. So anyway, my aesthetic for myself, I don't know what that is. The reason why the braid thing, I don't want you guys to think that I like long hair over short hair. I don't. I love short hair. I like my hair like this. I love it. However, when she told me that my hair would be long and all that, I was like, really, my hair? It was the excitement of thinking my hair could do that. I didn't know that my hair could do that. She said it could.
Okay. So
that's what it was about.
Okay. So because what I understand and what my psyche, let me just speak about myself, is like that I had the idea, like I drank the potion, okay, that's been given to us in all the commercials. and all the dolls of the hair that we comb, all the things that we see in television, that long hair means beauty. So we get to recondition ourselves, like even if our hair is not genetically as long as some other people's, that doesn't mean that our hair isn't at the pinnacle state of its beauty because it's short. So the first thing that I would encourage us to do, and I'm speaking really to black women, hold on, I'm really speaking to black women who have struggled with their natural hair journey, thinking that it gets to grow, it has to be long. I'm working, instead of focusing on the length, we can focus on it being healthy. We can focus on the beautiful styles that we can wear.
But they're not mutually exclusive. They can be, our hair can be both long and healthy. This is the thing
But not everybody's hair grows long.
Everyone's hair does grow long. Not everyone's hair grows long and not break. So that's the thing. It was explained to me that everyone's hair grows. People's hair may not achieve the length before it breaks off, but guess what? If we don't do anything to our hair, what do we have? Dreadlocks down to our knees.
Yes, that's true, but not everybody's hair grows in the same way, okay?
That's correct.
That not everybody grows in the same way. Some people's hair grows way faster than others,
Yes.
okay? And so if we associate the length or the rate of which your hair grows with beauty, it causes an issue, okay? So we get to love our hair in the state that it's in. If it's short, okay, if it hasn't reached the length, it still gets to be beautiful at that length.
Right.
And that's what I want to kind of talk about, because even India, who has straight hair, is waiting for the day that one day her hair is going to be down her back. Why? Her mama's hair is not like that. Her sister's hair is long, but not like that. Why? Why is she waiting for that? Because she watches all of the Disney movies. She watches like all of the romance movies and everything where the hair is the one that, creates all the difference. So the first thing that we get to do, I think, in the whole natural hair journey is like stop trying to be where we're not. So we're always trying to get to the place when my hair gets like this. Okay, when I have my hair like this, we get to celebrate how our hair is right now and rock it.
And so the real message of this that was all background, you guys, because really what's so refreshing is that now that I know what my hair looks like, it's so beautiful. I love it. I think my hair is beautiful. And then Tiffany was just twisting my hair for you guys. She's like, your hair, I have to do your hair because I just go to sleep and wake up. It's exactly what she's, I go to sleep, I wake up. I'm like, I paid for this. I'm like, I already paid. I have to do something else.
Yeah.
I feel like I pay you that money because I don't want to do anything else. But she told me that, yeah, you still have to do other stuff. Then I'm like, why am I supposed to do it myself? So what I found out is that I love my hair, and I love the curl pattern. I love like how to do it. I love everything about it. It's so pretty and everything, but I didn't know that. And I just believe that if I start loving my hair the way that I love like my skin or whatever, if I start putting that kind of focus in my hair, then my hair will respond because it responded to her. It loved the attention she gave it, but I never gave my hair any attention. And for women out there who are like I was, you guys you don't know what your hair looks like naturally. You're still perming your hair out of fear, like the fear of being exposed.
Right.
It's the fear of being exposed.
Well, like the other thing too is like we want to manipulate our hair a lot of times to be something that it's not.
That it's not.
That it's not.
Yeah.
So, the curl pattern, first of all, we get to recognize and acknowledge that everybody has a different curl pattern, whether your curl is a loose curl or a tight curl or whatever. And then celebrate that curl pattern. Don't try and like brush it so tight on your head so that it pulls your hair because you don't want to have curly edges. Or don't try and snatch it up in the back because you don't want to have curly edges. Let your curls be free. Hydrate them, nurture them, nourish them. So what I want to do right now, I want to open it up. How many of you guys have had a struggle with your natural hair journey? I know Manzella, you're here. She asked me for some recommendations about products. If you guys want to type in the chat a question that you've had about the natural hair journey or an insecurity that you've had about the natural hair journey, we can address it right now. Because I know for me, I remember even sometimes I put extensions in my hair. When I take them out, I do feel like less cute. I feel less cute. I put the clip on sometimes and I have the long hair, and when I take them out, like it takes me a minute Like I'm adjusting.
She's understating,
where
you guys.
I feel like, wow, like what happened? You know, what happened? It's kind of sad, and I don't want to feel that way. You know, I don't want to feel that way. So what we get to do is we get to celebrate that it doesn't have to be long to be pretty.
Listen, you guys, this is an understatement. It's deeper than that. It's a heavy duty. I felt pain when I made the decision. I chose my hair over my vanity. Okay, my perception of vanity. This could make me cry, you guys, because I was sitting in that woman's chair, knowing that my hair was going to be damaged by another round of individual braids. I knew that my hair would not survive. I knew that I was making a choice. In that moment, I was already okay. Check this out, you guys. I had washed my hair. My hair was undone. I was sitting in this woman's chair. She had already pressed it. I had the hair. She had that braid hair in her station. The only thing she had to do was start braiding, and I would have blondish, reddish hair right now, my braided hair, right? But I knew, I was like, but my hair was damaged. When I went to the bathroom and I saw that she had pressed it, I'm like, wow, it's not as thick as it was the last time she did it. It's not as thick. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, it's not as thick. That's all I needed to know. It wasn't as thick. I knew that there was something in the gap, right, of care. So I didn't do it. I didn't do it, you guys. I chose myself. I left with my hair all over my head, and I left it like that for a week. And when I went to the woman who just did my hair into the double strand twist, she goes, Cedra, when I saw your hair, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I'm like, yeah, I left it like this just so you could see that she had pressed it, but look how dry it was and how whatever. All my hair wanted was water and the stuff that our hair gets down with, the stuff that makes us thrive, water, you know, conditioners. My hair didn't want to be dried in those braids and like brittle, and you know, you can't really put a whole bunch of oils in braids because then it starts getting caked up and it starts looking gross. So you don't do that. So then what? So you're not hydrating your hair. You're not doing the stuff because you don't want the braids to look bad. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm like sacrificing all this stuff for the way I was looking to myself, and it's not necessary. It's not even.
Well, I think that it was really brave of you, and like even Claudine, I think she just made a message right now that she's letting her hair go gray. Okay, and so that's in a whole nother conversation because like. We just had like a little private gray battle right now we don't even want to talk about. But I mean, hair goes gray in all kinds of places, right? And so when your hair goes gray, if you just let it go gray, like when men have their hair go gray, it's sexy, it's salt and pepper. When women let their hair go gray, it's like old hag. Like, what's up with that? Why is it that we can't just accept the color of our hair? So,
and Claudine's hair is absolutely exquisite.
Yes.
We were just commenting on your hair yesterday. That's so
how
funny.
Beautiful your hair is.
Beautiful.
Being able to love oneself. But let's keep it real. Like we're still in a society right now where we have to deal with these emotions that have sort of been entrenched into our heads that we want to be loved and accepted, not just by ourselves, but by others. Okay, so we want to be loved, accepted, and acknowledged by others. We can't act like we're in our own private universe. But one of the things I've always said on the Insecure Cure is that you also get to be the person right now. So, you know, delete the self-doubt. So if the self-doubt is, wow, I'm not good enough because my hair is too curly, my hair is not long enough, my hair is going gray, then you get to delete that, okay, and replace it with some kind of reaffirming message to yourself. So I always say that we get to reaffirm what it is that we want to live and who we want to be. So like you can start to say like, gray hair is beautiful. I love short hair. I love kinky curly hair. And once you start saying whatever it is that you resist that continues to persist in your life, you pour love into it, you pour love into it. And then have you ever heard the expression, if you repeat something enough, you believe it no matter what it is, whether it's a lie or whether it's the truth, you repeat it over and over and over again, your body will take it in as truth. And so like with your hair, like she said, she sat in that chair and she said, you know what? I know this isn't good for me right now. I am going to wear my hair, okay? I'm going to take care of my hair. And she got up out of the lady's chair and she made a choice for herself. And it was so beautiful. And that choice, you say, was hard.
A painful choice. It was, I was crying about it, like not crying tears, but just crying about the choice that I had to make. It was such a huge choice for me in that moment. And that choice came up lots of times in my life, and I always chose the braids because I didn't know any better. Now that I know better, I cannot allow myself to make a poor choice. And the only reason I got braids this last time is because my hair was super, 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 super healthy. I've been wearing an afro for 3 years. My hair was super healthy, and it took it like a champ the first time. And then the second time, it was time, that was it. That was it. That was it. For 2 months or 2.5 months, 3 months of my hair being in that condition, my hair, that's enough damage to my hair. Braids are damaging, you guys. They are. Braids are damaging.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because I wore braids for a really long time and it didn't damage my hair. My hair grew like a weed.
Okay, disclaimer. Braids done by someone other than a hair specialist. She did her own braids. She did them herself.
Yeah, I did.
That's the difference.
Because you have to take care of it. What damages your hair is putting the braids too tightly and snatching them out of your head when you're ready to do the same thing with weaves. Like if you braid your hair and you attach this heavy hair on your tiny little follicles, and then you just take them out like the hairdresser just snatches them out. Well, along goes your hair with that little follicle, that base follicle with it. So you have to realize, like, with any kind of protective style that you're wearing, whether it's weave, extension, braids, or whatever, you still have hair that needs to be dealt with. Like, you don't get to pretend like your hair is less than whatever hair that you're putting on. I'm not downing anybody that wears a weave or braids or protective styles, because we get to be creative in our hair. We get to celebrate all of it.
Yeah, I was
There's
gonna
not
go
one
with
better
a weave.
than
I was
there's not
gonna
one better
protect
than
it
the
in a
other.
weave.
But what we do get to realize is that what we do have, we get to love and take care of. You know, we get to love and take care of our hair. So I did a hair video, which I'm going to show you, which I shared you guys my journey of what I do in the morning and the products that I'll use. So I'll share that with you. But one of the things that I want to say is that
She was in the shower, you guys.
I was in the shower. What we have to say is that the most important step towards your natural hair journey is love.
Yep. That's it.
It's love. It's love. Because we have all, and it's like we were in a bad relationship. We're coming out of an abusive relationship.
That's exactly it.
Like, when you come out of an abusive relationship, you have a lot of trauma. And we have a lot of trauma around our hair. Like we were saying, both of us, like, even though I've never actually had like a real job for like a real person, but I've always worked for myself. But, you know, there was, even if I did modeling or I was on shoots, like, I felt like I always had to have some extra hair. Like, I always had to put some extra hair on it. It would make me somehow better. So when I started wearing my hair out, like, people were like, oh, you cut your hair? Because like before I used to have it like super long all the time. Oh, you cut your hair? Yeah, I cut it. You know, like, detached is another word for cut. Detached, cut, same word, you know? And so, like, I keep waiting for the point. Like, okay, one day it might grow, but what if it doesn't? It still gets to be pretty and short. That's what we're telling you guys. Like, I want you guys to change your definition of what it means to have beautiful hair. It doesn't have to be long. That's all I'm saying. So as we embark on our natural hair journey, let's change the conversation from I'm trying to get my hair to grow to finding a hair that complements your face, that's healthy, that allows you to style it in a way that is easy and effortless for you, that you can walk into the room feeling good about yourself. You can walk into the room feeling confident. So now we're going to talk about some of the pros. We did this in another video. And actually,
but wait, I want to talk about something super interesting too, that when I made the decision, you guys, it wasn't that easy. When I was making the decision not to get the braids, the only reason I left is because I decided to get a perm.
You did?
Yes. I was like, I'm going to perm it. I'll just perm it and do that Halle Berry that I used to wear, the Halle Berry look. I used to wear my hair like Halle Berry. I would perm it, and it was
like this short,
pixely hair.
Yeah.
It was all like pixely, and it was just all like that. I was just going to perm it and do that. Now, I haven't worn my hair permed in forever, and ever. But I was willing to put myself on the perm auction block because I couldn't deal with what was going to happen. I didn't know.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing about relationship. Like, it's almost like in a relationship with an alcoholic, right? Like, if you're using only like protective styles, perms, weaves to have a relationship with your hair, when you cut that out, you don't even know your hair. You don't even know who you're dealing with. You know, because you don't have all of these other extras involved in the relationship. So you get to first establish a new relationship with your hair. That means that you get to love it, you get to nurture it, you get to take care of it, you get to celebrate it, because once you start wearing your hair naturally, it's like a baby is being born. Okay, and you guys get to know each other. You get to know each other. You get to know your curls, and that's what I really found out. Like, I think one of my friends who has really long hair, she went to a curl specialist, and she told me that, oh, darling, you have to know that your curls grow in families. They're in families. They like to be together. And I thought that was so beautiful, because a lot of times we don't realize, like, you know, when you have very curly hair, for example, like even if you hold it up like this, you can see all the different families in there.
Explain what a family is.
How the hair grows naturally. So this is a family, and if you try and break up the family, okay, when you break up the family, that's a problem, okay? Then they're in trauma. So here's a family. So if you look at your hair as little families, isn't that a beautiful image? And you work your curls like that. So like with her hair, I did it today. This is a family. You see, and I took it, I twisted it, and I curled it, and it's happy. The family's together. You can pull the hair up and see the pattern of which it grows, and then take care of the families together, and do it with love. Do it with love, and then take some pictures of yourself with your natural hair. So I want all of you guys to do that today.
But all the women out there, you guys, I get to talk to all the women. All of you women out there who are perming your hair, and your scalp is in trauma right now. Your scalp is in pain. You may even have sores from the perm. Like, I've been through all this, you guys, so I know. And your hair looks like a chicken. My ex-boyfriend called me a chicken head, because he's like, what'd you do with your hair? Because it was permed and damaged and stuff. He's like, it looks like a chicken just got in your head and went like this. I see women walking around like this all the time, because they're perming their hair, and their head is like, their scalp is so traumatized by it. If you guys will just stop perming your hair, if you just stop perming your hair, just shave it. If you could do this, do whatever it takes to get the perm out of your hair, get it out of your hair, and then start from scratch. And when you start seeing your little families, watch her video and do that to it. You know, she's going to show you in every video how to.
I also want to say, we get to get into this subject about, because we're talking about like dating and men and things like that, and I think that can also be a very challenging subject for women, and the reason why they do all this stuff to their hair to look like the women who are therefore so-called desirable to men. So like a lot of times people are perming their hair, putting the weaves, doing all this stuff. I'm not gonna say people, I've done it. I've done clip-ons. What do you mean people? I've done clip-ons, I've done extensions. I'm not to say I won't do it again, because we like to be versatile. But if you're doing it only because you think that's what's going to make you desirable to men, then we need to ask ourselves, like, why?
That's why I stopped. I didn't want a man that didn't like natural hair. I'm like, how am I going to find a man that likes natural hair if I never wear my hair naturally?
Yeah,
that's who I am.
Right.
So at some point the braids have to come out. At some point the weave has to come out. At some point the extensions have to come out. The clip-ons. At some point, that man's gonna be seeing me.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of times, like men make that joke, like they go out with the women, the hair comes off, the boobs come out, the butt comes out. Like it's not even you anymore. Like you have so many things. You got corsets on, and you get home, the corset comes off, makeup off, hair off. You're not even dealing with that person anymore. So what you're sending a message by doing that you're not good enough. And so then you're gonna attract men that are attracted to a woman who doesn't feel good about herself.
Right.
So what the point that she made was like, you know what? If I don't accept and wear my hair naturally, I'm not going to find a man that accepts me and loves me for who I am naturally.
Right.
That's super powerful, you guys. Because before we were in the conversation, I remember when she first took her hair out of the braids, I was like, what are you gonna do? We were like, what are you gonna do?
And I used to live in a story that the reason why I wasn't married is because my hair was all not a certain way. I swear to God, you guys, this is a story that I lived in. And then I was like, and then I started realizing that no matter how I wore my hair, it had nothing to do with that. I wasn't attracting anyone because I didn't love myself to begin with. So it had nothing to do with anybody else. When you love yourself and everything that yourself encompasses, love will just start falling into your life. Like you're just going to be attracting everybody. It's just going to be like, men, I get 1,000 compliments. I can't walk down the street without a man telling me they love my hair. I can't even tell you guys. Men love my hair. They want to touch it. My brother-in-law loves my hair. He likes to run his fingers through it. I don't know men that don't. Everyone likes my hair. They just love it. They love my hair.
Well, they love it. Once they love it, once you love it. So that's the thing. Like, because I think about the brothers. Like the brothers, like you know, black men, they wear their hair short and stuff. They don't really. They just wear their hair however it is, and we love them however it is. You see what I'm saying? We love them however it is. You know, they would do a fade, they do a high top because they can
do whatever.
They haven't manipulated their hair, so we get to love them. But we manipulate our hair, and then we get mad at the brothers or the men when they don't like truly us. When we manipulated and we put a front like that's not really us. For example, like if you have a weave and your hair is nice and long and you attract a man who loves it, you take the weave out, you're mad at him if he says something about it. You're mad at him if he says like, what happened to your weave? You're mad at him if he's like, are you going to get your weave back? You get mad about it. You know what I mean? So these are things that we have to really say, okay, well, how can I expect him to love me if I don't love me? How can I expect him to accept me if I don't accept me? So even whatever your protective styles are, then I want to make sure that you rock your natural hair. If I'm not telling anybody to color their hair, to take out their weave, to not do braids, to do whatever, what I am suggesting is that you get comfortable and you love your own hair. Because when you love something, you take care of it, you celebrate it, you show it off, right? So we get to do that.
You're
and
proud
then
about
you're
it.
proud
You're
about
pride.
it.
It's the pride.
There's a pride issue.
Yes.
There's a pride issue.
Yes, it gets
And so what's
happened.
really helped so many people like right now is the Instagram movement. You know, I think Instagram, when people are able to finally put pictures of what they want to see, they reaffirm each other. There's people that you can follow that are doing their hair, like Natural. Even using the word nap was like, ooh, you weren't even allowed to say nappy 10 years ago, right? You say Natural. She's
That's the
celebrating
one
right
that
now.
I was using Felicia's brush.
Okay.
That's the one.
Yes, I know her. She's a friend of mine. But I'm saying by using the Natural, you're able to celebrate what used to be a negative. Now, we're talking, some people might be watching this video, not know what we're talking about, but nappy has been used to describe black hair in a negative way. Like if someone said your hair is nappy, they're trying to insult you.
What they're referring to is our beautiful coily curls. So when something is so coily that it makes this tiny coil, in history somehow that has been described as a nap. I don't even know where that originates from. I just know what it's supposed to mean in relation to our hair. And it's supposed to be a derogatory way of saying that something is super curly. All it is a curl, you guys.
It's just a curl.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just a curl.
That a curl can be considered negative, and curls are beautiful. That's what we all want. We want curly hair.
Curly, dancing, beautiful hair. The other thing, you know, when you're saying that actually, it's like, I want us, I know a lot of you guys are already on the same page with us, but let's not, okay, black people! Black people.
People of color.
No good hair, bad hair conversations. Can we stop that?
No.
Can we stop that? Oh, she has good hair. She has bad hair. She has nappy hair. She has straight hair. Can we just move away from that? Can we move away from that conversation about classifying hair as good or bad? Let's not classify. Let's just celebrate. Let's look at what the hair really is, the details. She has curly hair, her is straight, her is brown, her is gray, whatever. It's like flowers.
Hers is blonde,
flowers,
hers is brunette.
Flowers in a garden. One doesn't have to be better than the other. Who wants to go out to a garden and see every flower looking alike?
Exactly.
We don't.
Beautiful.
God is gorgeous.
Yes.
How many different trees do we have?
Yes.
You know, nothing in nature is the same.
Some trees have afros.
Nothing in nature is the same. So we don't have to look the same or be the same. And one tree isn't better than another tree. One flower isn't better to the other. Yes, we can think I'm more attracted to a pink flower. That's okay. I'm more attractive to a sunflower. That's okay. I'm not a fan of carnations. Never liked them.
I do. I love them.
I don't like carnations.
Ever since you've got mail.
Yeah.
He brought her carnations.
And it's okay for me not to like carnations. You know, it's okay. I'll just choose other person. We get to choose because we have such a different array of choice out there. But I don't make carnations a bad flower. Okay, it's just not my choice. So that's another thing. So we get to choose, okay, to celebrate what we have, and we also don't get to judge somebody who's different from us. We don't get to judge somebody as better or worse because they have different hair. So if that's a message.
For example, it is okay to be appreciative of someone's beautiful hair.
Yes.
It's okay to be appreciative of somebody's long legs,
Yes.
someone's long. I mean, I know some women have beautiful hands like models. That's great. Those are all their gifts, but it doesn't make anything inferior to that.
Yes.
Nothing's
yes.
inferior to it. It's just different from it.
Yes,
right?
exactly. You can love and celebrate what's beautiful about someone else, and that doesn't make it doesn't make you the opposite of that if you don't have it.
Right.
Okay. So that's what we really want to drive home today. Love yourself on the Insecure Cure. So now we're going to take out some time out. I know you guys had some comments because it's live, but it goes really fast. So does anybody have any questions or comments about the natural hair journey, loving yourself, good hair versus bad hair? We're going to take time for those comments now, so you can go ahead and put them in the chat. I saw one before, but it went by so fast we couldn't really address it. So now, it's chat time.
And also, Cedra Stokes gets to go on the record. I love your weaves. I love your braids. I love your blonde hair. I don't care what you guys do with your hair. I love it. I've done all of it except for probably a weave. I don't think I've ever done a weave.
Yes.
Maybe once.
Oh my God.
But we love all of that.
I did a weave once. I did a weave, and I remember, I think I had two friends, and I treated that weave like it was my hair. I snatched it, you know, I didn't take care of it. And then I came home, and two of my girlfriends helped me take it out, and they were taking it out, and it was just quiet.
Who?
Blair and Don. It was so quiet. I'm like, why are you guys so quiet? They were just taking it down. And now I can hear a word. I was like, what happened? Why are you guys so quiet? They're like, your hair is so broken. It was so broken
I remember
off.
that.
Remember? So I had like just patches missing out of my head because I abused my hair with the weave. And so when I took it off, I was just heartbroken. I just cut it all off and put it in braids. Okay, I just cut it all off. Okay, this is Spanish. What does this say? Okay. All right, so you guys, we're gonna do our last call for comments, and then we're gonna wrap this up today. If you have any questions, I'm sorry that this whole thing is not in Spanish, pero está muy difícil a decir todo de eso en español también. Pero no sé si. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, Adrian.
Shout out to Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
Okay, so Adrian is on there. I've always loved her hair. She's a friend of mine. She used to have like the most badass highlights. That's what attracted
Venable?
her. Yes. That's
Hey,
Adrian.
Adrian.
Badass highlights. Yes. I always loved her hair. But again, like you can highlight your hair and it was like bobbed and bouncy and short. You can highlight. You can do all those things to your hair, but don't do it in opposite of what you are because you don't like what you have.
That's correct.
Okay, and then you also get to go back home just to being naturally you. All right, you guys. So we love you so much, and always remember what
We are better together.
See you next time.